I wanted hey friends, I wanted to I'm not putting myself on here because I'm just I'm not putting the camera on me. I'm just going to talk into it and put it outwards. A lot of the reason for that is I just look rough sometimes. I'm just tired. I've worked like 38 straight days and I was even sick in the middle of that. And not for very long, but it was a pretty potent little sickness, like 32-hour, 36-hour beat down. And so I'm just not as pretty as I was when I was 28. So the reason actually I should have started off with I'm putting a video on Instagram because I haven't in a while, but and I'm mainly just doing it to let everybody know that I'm fine, in pretty good health, and in pretty good spirits. It's kind of like a check. I'm just checking in with the public. I don't have to. And it's really the only reason for me to put an Instagram video out because uh, there's literally no demand for a Mark Berry Instagram video, none whatsoever. No, I have not had one, and since Instagram was born in somewhere probably around 2008 or so, there has not been one person in the United States of America that sent me like an email or a text message that said, "Hey, post an Instagram video, man. I want to see that." Not one single, and it's understandable. I would like. There's nothing here. There's no material here. There's nothing good. Uh, let's zoom in on the neighbors. They got chickens. They got a rooster and then a bunch of ducks. And there's like all kinds of different feathered things in one little thing there. They all seem to get along. They got like a little zoo of some sort going on there. That's kind of cool. What do you think, Kitty? Is it cool? Huh? Kitty. Okay. I usually don't take her that long to answer my questions. So, gonna do we're doing an Instagram video here. Try to keep it kind of short. It's really just like I said, it's a check-in. I'm checking in with the people of Instagram and people who might be concerned. Like, is Mark all right, or is he crazy again, or or maybe he's got a heart condition now that we don't know about, or something. I don't. Everything seems to be fine. Um, see, and this is why I don't post. I have no material. I just we can talk about. That's Mizzou Kitty, by the way. Some of you, she's been in past videos over the years, so she's good. She's doing good too. We're ready for football season to start. Been kind of prepping a little bit for the Missouri Tigers. I think I like a lot of things we got going. We're not gonna talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about football, but yeah, I'm optimistic about Mizzou this year. But I was listening to some Kenny Chesney a while ago. Not to change the subject, but that guy's pretty good, man. Of all the guys from 19 from the year two, let's start at 1999 all the way to 2019. Let's do that. We can do that. You can do 2000 to 2020, but um, I do what I want. So 99 to 2019, I was thinking about all the male country singers solo singers that there have been, and which ones are really have risen to the top in that 20-year span. And there's a lot of names you can throw out there, but I have to say Kenny Chesney, and he really dates back a little bit before that time, maybe '95, but he's just got so much easy listening material, like, and really good lyrics, really down to earth. So like what I told somebody at work today, who was ignoring me just like you guys are, that he's like, it's kind of like earthy. He's an earthy guy, and he's not. I don't see him involved in politics. I don't see him involved in any of this the flashy stuff that goes on social media, like stuff like like Democrat Republican, or um uh stuff about gays or black lives, or uh or guns, or go Trump. I don't like. There's no uh make America great again. There's none of that. He's smart, man. So that on top of the material, a lot there's people who don't like him because he doesn't write his own songs, and people will give people a hard time about that. But in his case, um, he overcomes that with how he performs the songs, how he gets other people involved in the studio work, and he does a lot of the music justice, and he actually performs a lot of songs better than the original artist. I was thinking of there's a one song in particular that uh, it's I'm not gonna say what it is, uh, and it's not uh, what it's not the song that somebody on here viewing this might be thinking it is, just because I know one of the songwriters uh, that's written one of his number one hits, and it's not that one. But there's a there is a song where the original artist performed it, and it's just not as good as the Kenny Chesney performance of it. I'm not gonna say what it is. But the studio version is just incredible. It may be my favorite Kenny Chesney recording. But he got somebody else involved with it who was kind of a street musician type, and they performed in the background and did an incredible job. And he just does an incredible job with the material. You don't have to write his own stuff. And I'm also the type of person that I will appreciate you more if you write your own stuff. That's why I put Brad Paisley up on such a high pedestal. Even he wouldn't even have to write his own stuff, and he'd be on a high pedestal because of his guitar playing good abilities. But he does write his own material, puts him on a whole other level. But still, even with him and his abilities and everything he does and everything, I am still going to say that Kenny Chesney is the man for that 2 decades. Like, you had the 2 decades before, where you could make a case for a couple people. Um, Really two, and that's George Strait and Garth Brooks, and they're both very different, but also have a lot of similarities. But you can make a case that either one of those were the king of country for that 20 years. And Garth was definitely the king of the entertainment portion of country. So, and King George would have been the king of a more laid back gentleman type thing. And they're both, I would give that a tie, actually, now that I'm thinking about it. But that's not the top. The topic is the next 20 years. And I'm going to roll with Kenny Chesney. As much respect as I have for somebody like Brad Paisley. And there are others in the mix. Tim McGraw, he's kind of in the middle. He's kind of like 1990 to 2010. So he's kind of not in the competition but for just because of the boundaries of it. But he's definitely a candidate for. In fact, if I did a 1990 to 2010, he might win that one. But George Strait is still in the ball game there. So I guess Garth Brooks is still in that ball game too, because he's an early '90s guy. Wow, what a bunch of rambling I'm doing, huh? Dirk Bentley. Oh my, Toby Keith. I mean, I brought this up to a girl at work today. I asked her about it because she's a bit of a country fan. I asked her to name some guys off that would qualify. I'm like, who do you think I'm thinking is the number one guy? And it took her a while to get around to it, but then she did. She answered the question, and then she said, everybody loves Kenny Chesney. It might be him. I'm like, yeah, that's who I got. But you got Jason Aldean. You got um, what's his counterpart, kind of to an extent. Luke Bryan. They're both in the same era, and Blake Shelton. All three of them guys are right there together, kind of the same era. But they're not gonna win it. That's not. Toby Keith is pretty good. He's pretty up there. If he hadn't gotten so corny, I think later it would have been different. But my gosh, man, even the last Kenny Chesney hit that I heard was just smooth, easy to listen to. Is right on. Is the here and now, here and now. Now, I'm not gonna sing it. I'm not Kenny Chesney. I don't have that kind of voice. I'm not. I wish I had that kind of register. Um, and thank you, by the way. If anybody has made it this far in the video, you're some kind of hero yourself. But I do have singing abilities, but I don't have the kind of voice that. If it were a little bit lower, like the registers that all those guys have, like Kenny Chesney and Dirk Bentley and all, their voice is a little bit lower than mine, and it sounds awesome. Mine does not. I have good vocal control and tone and just about everything, but I don't have the moneymaker, which is, and there are two guys that just came to mind that have the moneymaker register that can't sing at all, but because they have the register, they got the moneymaker, and that's Kane Brown, terrible singer, just terrible, but he has a low register. And Scotty McCreery, the one that for some reason won American Idol, which is why I don't believe that democracy is the way, because that was proof right there. Because they voted a singing competition, they voted for the guy that couldn't sing. So that's America. I mean, that's democracy at work there. That's why we have so many ridiculous presidents, and have had since since I was a kid. I think Reagan was made sense, and like Bush, like the first Bush, and I guess Clinton. But I mean, it's been all downhill since then. It's because people are allowed to vote. But that's a different topic. We're not going to get into that. Kenny Chesney wouldn't get into it. No, who knows what Kenny Chesney thinks about all that? But anyway, I'm not Nazi. I'm not a Nazi by any means. I'm not communist. Definitely don't like what China's doing, but I'm just saying, voting's a little bit, democracy's a little bit overrated. That's all. That's all. What do you think, Kitty? So, where was I going? But yeah, he's just like here and now. I don't know what he's saying. I generally don't know what singers are singing, but sometimes it hooks me. The lyrics hook me. Um, we sing Bobby McGee in the hood of my car in that clear Missouri sky. Now, he's like nobody watches these videos, like I said, and if you are watching, you might say that's not the lyrics, but it actually is the lyrics. I think it's the lyrics. It's either clear Missouri sky or blue Missouri sky, but that's not what you heard on the radio. But I know the songwriter. I played in a band with the guy who actually wrote the song, so those are the lyrics. Missouri is the lyric. Now the other word, clear, it's either clear or blue Missouri sky. In that in that blue Missouri sky. I don't know. I don't know. He could have said blue or clear. Either one of them worked. Kenny Chesney could have left Missouri in there actually, and it would have worked. But Missouri doesn't. Missouri's a little bit out of a fringe state as far as that goes. If it were Kentucky, yeah, that would fly. In that clear Kentucky's, that would fly. But anyway, everything's fine. I'm doing fine. I'm listening to some Kenny Chesney, like I said, and I got there's the rooster crowing. He does it all day. Neighbor's like, I asked the neighbor one day. I said, "Hey man, does my music ever is it ever too loud? Do you want my number in case like so you can text me or call me when it's too loud?" He's like, "No man, it's good as long as you don't care about the rooster." And I don't. I'm like, I don't at all. I'm entertained. I like it. It brings it's you know it's all right. It's all right. It's all right. I could see why people don't like roosters, but it takes me back to the dude on the 50-yard line. There's the sweet berry run. That's Kenny Chesney there, right there. I go back. I like it. I like it. I like the rooster. Crow away, buddy. I got vehicles. These aren't all my vehicles. Some of them aren't even here. But I'm thinking about starting a dealership. I mean, half of them don't even work. Most of them are. I mean, most of them like they all need repairs. Every single one of my vehicles needs repairs, and some of them are pretty extensive and expensive. So I just take it one at a time. But if you're looking to buy, come on out to Mark's Auto Sales. I don't do credit checks, but I don't uh, finance either. I just take cash. If anybody wants to buy one of these, throw me an offer. That's a Mustang, like it's 2002, I want to say Mustang. And it looks good on the outside, but inside's a little rough, and mechanically it's really rough. It may in fact need a motor. I don't I don't know that, and I don't. I'm 50-50 on that one. But it definitely needs a lot of things. I'm sure it needs a radiator, and it needs all the hoses replaced. I think it needs a catalytic converter. Um, it lost like all of its horsepower before I parked it. Um, but shoot me a number if you're interested in it. It's pretty. It's yellow. If you like that particular model, it's a pretty car. It's a V6. That's a kind of a bummer. Like, you know, you got a Mustang, you got any American sports car, you kind of want an 8 banger, but that's not what you're getting with that one. Looks good though. We got a Dodge. I don't even know what it's called. It's an all right looking car. It's got a lot of miles on it, but it just needs some minor stuff done to it. Shoot me an offer. I don't know exactly what all those minor things are. Brakes. It needs new tires. Tires are about worn. I think there's some kind of a suspension issue, a shocks issue. Runs good. The S10. It needs. I kind of think it needs wheel bearings. There's something going on. It's causing it to vibrate, and it's making some noises that remind me of wheel bearing issues. But it runs. It's a funny thing. Like it ran real smooth and good today, and then tomorrow it won't. But it just goes back and forth. It's never consistent. It never runs consistent. persistently bad. Just it has bad days. Today was a good day for the S10. It needs some minor stuff, but sure, I put it on. I put it on a mark. Hey, everything's for sale here. Just maybe if the price is right. That is a dune buggy, a mini dune buggy. It's like a cross between a go kart and a dune buggy. It's pretty cool. It is. It needs some things done, but I think it's real cheap and simple to fix that one. The only problem with it is it's Chinese, and I'm not sure how to get the parts. It's kind of one of those weird Chinese companies that's always changing their names like they're hiding. But it's a pretty solid machine. Something just got offline. The sprocket and the chain got unmatched with each other sometime, and the sprocket got all ate up. So it needs a sprocket and it needs a chain. It might need some kind of alignment. And now it's not starting, but it's just been sitting for a long time. It won't start. It's all easy fixes, and it looks almost brand new. They're $4,000 brand new. Shoot, give me an offer on that one. Uh, or if you know somebody that can fix it, let me know. So something's wrong with the video here, so I'm gonna cut it off, and I'm gonna end the transmission. Thanks for viewing, both of you. Thanks for coming. I hope all is well. Hope you're doing well. Toodaloo.